Have they been welcomed by a crowd with such mixed feelings? It's not just the large contingent of Irish supporters who fervently hope their country reach Mexico. Most English fans would love to see them there too, which is why the England players have to be seen in the eyes of the football world to be competing more fiercely tonight than their own guaranteed place in the finals might seem to demand. Not that Chelsea's Kerry Dixon needs any extra incentive. It's his first ever Wembley appearance, following his 4 goals in 2 full games on England's summer tour, and he's quite simply playing for a World Cup place. And the man he has to try to beat has been assured of his international position for over 21 years. 40-year-old Pat Jennings, tonight winning his 113th cap, too short of the world record. And not surprisingly, he's Northern Ireland's only survivor from their last win at Wembley in 1972. Well, Billy Bingham, after the heroics of Jennings and his teammates in Bucharest 4 weeks ago, has announced an unchanged Northern Ireland side. Number 3, Mal Donaghy, still has a slightly swollen knee, but it was eased this morning. And the 2 wingers, Stephen Penny from Brighton and Ian Stewart from Newcastle, have kept Northern Ireland's joint record goal scorer Gerry Armstrong on the bench. England start with only 3 of the side, which won 1-0 in Belfast last February. Shilton, Sansom and Ray Wilkins, who was also captain that night. Still very much on trial are Mark Wright in defence, Paul Bracewell given an opportunity in midfield, and Chris Waddle in attack. Referee Eric Fredriksson from Sweden, well known to both countries. He took charge of Northern Ireland's first World Cup match in the '82 finals in Spain, and he starts this one with the Irish playing from the left, knowing that 1 point would be enough, irrespective of what happens in Izmir tonight, where Turkey and Romania play simultaneously. There goes Quinn and Fennick. This is Sansom for England. David McCreary. Oh, and McIlroy gave it away and Waddle couldn't collect it. Here's Wilkins. Stevens. Hoddle. Lineker. Now Wright. It's almost practice match speed at the moment. But that header from Donaghy went astray. Stevens didn't get any luck either. Here's Penny. Sansom. Chris Waddle, good tackle by Jimmy Nicholl. Bracewell. Wilkins will certainly see plenty of the ball if the pace stays like this. He's just sitting in midfield, picking it up at every opportunity. Waddle. And it's interesting to speculate on whether or not any news from Izmir will get down to the Irish bench, because what we know is that Romania have already taken the lead in that match. I wonder if someone will tell Billy Bingham that at some time. All of which means Northern Ireland look as though they're going to need that 1 point at this stage. And we haven't had a goal-scoring chance worthy of the name in this opening period at either end. Here's Mark Wright. Hoodle. This is Wilkins. There's three waiting in the centre. Dixon's among them. I don't think that would have counted. Dixon appeared to be climbing a little. It was Ray Wilkins who supplied the cross, and the referee certainly felt Dixon fouled John O'Neill. Long by Stevens, John O'Neill with the header. There's Waddle. Trying to find Dixon. Bracewell. Oh, off Donaghy in the end. Lineker's made a run across the area. Waddle on the ball. This is Sansom. Now Bracewell. Glenn Hoddle is also forward. There's Dixon. Hoddle. And Pat Jennings pulls off a save which could prove important from Glenn Hoddle. The first shot to cause any concern, and it was tipped aside by the 40-year-old keeper. Corner to England. And that's awkward for Jennings too. And it was hammered away to his relief by McDonald. But it was a good save. Just goes to show that Pat's reflexes, even though he's only been playing combination football, are as good as they've been in the last 2 or 3 years. Here's Penny. Nickel. Oh, given away by Jimmy Nickel. Bracewell. And now Lineker, fouled by John O'Neill. Well, Fenwick has gone forward on the far side. This is Sansom. And Fenwick's got free. Pushed wide now. Lineker's on the near side there, so is Jennings. And England looking dangerous for the first time. Gary Stevens with the throw. Here he is again. Foul by Stewart. Could prove a tricky place to concede a free kick, that. Well, we've been playing for half an hour. England have had one noteworthy attempt on goal, and now they have a free kick, which is being pushed back a bit by the referee. It's Wilkins and Hoddle over there. And the corner is given. So Mark Wright can stay forward. He's hugging the near post position with Fenwick. Dixon is much, much deeper. Stevens. Hoddle. Lineker, little dummy. Wilkins trying to get it. And Northern Ireland have got bodies back in there, but it's quite a sustained spell, this, by England. The most promising so far. Hoddle. Back again to Stevens. 6 forward in white shirts. Sansom. Waddle. And Northern Ireland have pulled everybody back behind the ball. Lineker. This is Sansom. And now Wilkins. Straight into McElroy. So it's Fennick. That header by McDonald finds Penny. Oh, he's given it away. Wilkins, and Jennings just for a minute had to rush back. He was already on his way out. Slight error by Stephen Penny. Right side. Now Donaghy. Penny's made a run into the centre to join Quinn. There he is. But he's been driven back and fouled by Bracewell. Nicol takes the kick. McElroy. McCreary. Well, it's clear that Northern Ireland are taking no risks in pushing players forward. As long as the score remains 0-0, they're going to be very cautious. Sansom, Dixon, Lineker, on to Waddle. Sansom again. Oh. Jimmy Nicol being spoken to for the foul on Sansom. This is Wilkins. And now Hoddle. And he's lofted one for Dixon! Well, what a good chance, and I don't think he was offside. There was no flag. Billy Bingham's heart must have been in his mouth there. Hoddle chipped one in. No, he wasn't offside because he started from the other side of McDonald, and Dixon misses a chance which, on an ordinary Saturday afternoon at Stamford Bridge, you'd think he would bury. From a good chip by Glenn Hoddle. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half, and Northern Ireland have sent Alan McDonald up for this free kick. And also John O'Neill. Both the centre-backs have made their way forward onto the far side. Jimmy Nicol to take it. It's going to come out to Stewart. Gary Stevens tussling and winning. Dixon. David McCreary in midfield. Gains the free kick from Swedish referee, and it's Donaghy on the ball for Northern Ireland. John O'Neill has stayed forward in the last minute of the first half, but I fancy he'll have to get back soon because Hoddle has sorted things out for England. Waddle. Sansom. Wilkins in space here. Lineker through the centre. Chance! Missed by Gary Lineker. And again the nerves jangling down there on the Ireland bench, because England opened things up there, or right through the centre, and Lineker, taking it early, shot wide. So at half-time, Billy Bingham is still on course for Mexico, but only just. He may find out in the dressing room that Romania have gone 2-0 up in Turkey, and that means Northern Ireland would need at least a point here. Pat Jennings kept them level with a fine save from Glenn Hoddle, and then England's two strikers both missed very presentable chances. So at half-time, the Irish dream is still alive. So they've each missed a good chance, Dixon and Lineker, and remember that England have got Woodcock and Francis getting very itchy feet on the substitutes bench these days. This is Waddle. And Haitley out of action anyway, so there's plenty of competition among England's strikers. It was Dixon's touch to Waddle. Now Sansom. Quinn looking for Penny. Mark Wright covering. Wilkins. Whiteside, who had treatment in the dressing room for that knock she received early in the match. Wilkins. Now Fenwick. And Fenwick saw the space open up in front of him there. Bracewell. Hoddle. Sansom. Waddle. Wilkins. Chipped forward for Glenn Hoddle. Couldn't keep it in. Oh, that came off right, and Sansom having to clear it up. Hoddle. Time really there for Lineker to pull it down. And again, Northern Ireland have all 11 back behind the ball. This is Kenny Sansom. Bracewell is well forward here. So is Hoddle. And now Gary Stevens. And that's awkward. And McDonald, I think, got in there to save the situation. Jennings looked to be put in a bit of difficulty by Gary Stevens there. Gary Stevens got away. It was a good ball by Hoddle, and this is the cross no goalkeeper likes. He had to backpedal. He got a hand on it maybe, but it was McDonald, as I thought, who really saved the Irish. Corner to England. Wilkins to take. Again, McDonald heads it clear. Sansom. Donaghy. Well, Stevens ahead of Stewart. They're going to make a substitution any moment. And Jerry Armstrong will come on as he did in Bucharest at a similar stage in place of Stephen Penny. And Armstrong, who will be remembered for the goal he scored against Spain in Valencia, comes on. Now plays for West Brom, and Billy Bingham makes the switch after exactly 1 hour's play. McElroy to Whiteside. John O'Neill forward. Dixon. And still. Good run by Dixon this. And deflected, and Jennings saved with his feet, which he's done so many times throughout his career. England have got a corner. Waddle's cross. O'Neill's header out. Sansom forward. That's easier for the goalkeeper. Sansom. Wilkins. Right. England pushing on again. Bracewell. And Dixon in there. And McDonald clears, but Dixon doing the climbing on John O'Neill. Free kick. Well, in most of their past escapades, Northern Ireland have scored and then hung on. Tonight it's rather different. They haven't got the luxury of the goal. It's still a very tortuous position for them at 0-0, because if England were to score, then Northern Ireland could well be on their way out. Mark right. Dixon making a run across. Here's Hoodle. Dixon, Lineker, it went over his head, and the back pass by Jimmy Nicholl. Scrambled wide. Jennings again having to save from his own defender. And Northern Ireland's nerves threadbare. There for all to see just how anxious they are. Wilkins with the corner. Wright's flick on. Away by McCreary, I think. And now Donaghy. Stewart. White side. It could go. Oh. Back by Bracewell. I think Whiteside's been slowed down in this second half by the thigh injury which he received early in the game. Minutes to go, still 0-0. But Northern Ireland with nothing to spare, no sort of cushion whatever. Here's Gary Stevens. England have got 4 pushing forward with him. And here comes Wilkins. Good cross, Dixon's coming in. And in fact he's gone down injured in the area, which might mean he's in an offside position if it comes that far. Right. Stevens. And the referee's going to have to stop the play here because they couldn't expect any activity while Dixon's lying there. Nigel Worthington of Sheffield Wednesday getting stripped. This has been the pattern in Bucharest and here to make these 2 second-half substitutions. Whether England will have to make one remains to be seen, or whether indeed they would want to. Jimmy Nicholl might be a very relieved man at this moment. He just nudged that ball back towards the post. Whether it was going in, I couldn't honestly say, but Jennings was taking no chances. Dixon is okay. The other wingers going off now. Ian Stewart and Nigel Worthington, a more defensive player, is going to take his place. Fairly understandable. 17 minutes to go. Armstrong and Worthington on, Kenny and Stewart off. That was the plan if Northern Ireland found themselves in this situation. Hoodle. Sansom forward, Lineker. Fenwick. Lofted forward for Dixon. Donaghy's header out. Bracewell's header back. Donaghy again. Are Northern Ireland going to hang on here? Or are England going to produce the bite in the penalty area, which has so far been missing, which could put them out of the World Cup? This is Sansom. John O'Neill with Lineker. Waddle's cross. Donaghy's clearance. Bracewell. Wilkins. Lineker. McCreary. Fenwick. Sansom. This is Mark Wright. Fenwick. That was deflected too. Lost count of the number of shots and passes that have been. Here's Nigel Worthington on a sortie all of his own. But at least he's got the ball in England's half. Sansom. Offside, Kerry Dixon caught. Armstrong. Sansom. That's Wilkins. Forward for Dixon. Header on, tries to find Lineker. And John O'Neill was the defender. And the referee was watching closely, and there was no appeal from the players. Lineker denied, and Billy Bingham given a reprieve again. White side to McCreary, and now Donaghy. Jerry Armstrong, McElroy through the centre. Waddle for England, still no sign of any substitutes being used by Bobby Robson. Bracewell. Waddle to Fenwick. Wilkins feeding it in for Dixon, but that's broken down. And there's a free kick, which will please the Irish. They've actually got a chance to draw breath. It's not that England have created very many chances, it's just the fact that every time the ball has got near the Ireland goal, you can see the panic spreading among one or two of their players. Waddle. Wilkins. Hoodle. That's dangerous. Kenny Sansom well forward and didn't control it. Glenn Hoodle has been the man who at times has split the Ireland defence, and Sansom's first touch there unusually let him down. Well, we make it that there are 5 minutes between Northern Ireland and qualification for the World Cup finals. There won't be much stoppage time. Here's Wilkins. Lineker. Stevens. And Dixon is coming in here. And Jennings has somehow got that over the top. What a fine save. And Billy Bingham again has to thank a goalkeeper who's put a completely different complexion on the phrase middle-aged. Dixon got up between the two defenders, and how Jennings got back and turned that over with one hand, he will doubtless explain later. In the meantime, a corner. 4 minutes to go. And Wright tries to flick it on. Stevens. Hoodle. And now Wilkins to shoot. Deflection. And Dixon's in there. And he's miskicked. Well, if that's shown on television in Eastern Europe, they won't be too happy about it. But Bobby Robson absolutely stone-faced. Ray Wilkins drove it. There was a deflection from an Ireland player, and Dixon just didn't make contact. Fenwick. And anywhere will do for Worthington. There's already a foul. Lineker was impeded, and there is still some anxious moments for Northern Ireland to survive here. Just to prove the point, England has sent Wright and Fenwick forward with just under 2 minutes to go. And a backhand. Well, John O'Neill and Alan McDonald just about in each other's way, but somehow the ball went out for a corner. Which Wilkins will take. Wright and Fenwick still forward. And Fenwick's in there. And right side, was it his arm? No. No appeal by an England player, and that looks safe enough. We're in the last minute. This is Waddle, but England haven't given up yet. Dixon's in there. So is Terry Fenwick, who stayed forward. The Irish have got no shape now. They're just belting the ball as far away from their goal as they can. Billy Bingham knows it's a matter of seconds. Never has one bench been so animated and the other so unconcerned. It all depends now on the Swedish referee Eric Fredriksson as to what there is in the way of stoppage time. Forward by Bracewell. Lineker's chasing. Awkward. Except that when Jennings is in goal, he makes those look easy. And Northern Ireland have qualified for the World Cup finals for the second successive time. 40-year-old Pat Jennings, again a hero. As the Irish supporters celebrate, and surely now he must go to Mexico with them. Just look at the reaction for a man who's normally unemotional. And well, he might raise his fists, because Billy Bingham will be the first to say that two Jennings saves with a difference here between qualification and obscurity. £500,000 and more will go into the coffers of the Irish Football Association as a result of this 0-0 draw. Romania, despite winning in Turkey, are eliminated, and Northern Ireland go with England to the World Cup finals from Group 3. Billy Bingham and his men have pulled it off again. Nobody can say that Bobby Robson's team didn't try to score, because you can look back on 5 or 6 times when they could so easily have done so. But Northern Ireland celebrate, and it's their night.
Billy Bingham, congratulations, a magnificent night for Northern Ireland football.
Well, it was a hell of a battle, and we were very anxious tonight, and our football wasn't really good, but we battled through it, and we fought and we defended like hell, And that's all we could do under the circumstances.
Did you think before the game that you could actually defend for 90 minutes here and prevent England scoring?
Yes, and we had to do that, and we did it very well with the help of Pat Jennings as well, of course.
But you played with two wingers at the start, and then eventually you had to take them off and put men on at the back.
Yes, I did, because the pressure was coming at us all the time, and I felt we had to get a little bit of strength. So I threw Armstrong on, he's a strong player, and I threw Worthington on the other side.
What were your emotions during that match? The last few minutes were absolutely nail-biting.
I couldn't wait for the whistle to go, because I knew at half-time that Romania were beating Turkey 2-0. So obviously we had to get the draw, and I think we deserved it just this year, battling, not for our football, but we battled through it.
What about Pat Jennings? 113 international cap tonight and two magnificent saves.
Well, I think one in the first half from Hoodle was tremendous. One he tipped over the bar here, and really it was fantastic.
Sure. In fact, we got Pat Jennings just behind you there. Pat, if we could bring you in. Many congratulations, Pat. The question that Northern Ireland want to know the answer to, and the rest of world football, is, are you going to carry on playing?
Well, I haven't really had an opportunity to have a talk with Billy yet, you know, and also the setup of the club and that. But we'll have a chat about it over the next couple of days and see what happens.
I know you've not felt that reserve team football has really been the best preparation for a game of this quality. Would it now be the best preparation for you to go to Mexico and play?
Well, I mean, it's about all I'm fit for at the minute, you know. But we've been getting away with it up to now, you know. It's not the ideal situation, but I mean, I've retired in May from league football. So
he only needs 2 days a week training, really.
Now we've got you both together, let's put you on the spot. I mean, you obviously want him to...
Well, I'll take him along to carry the baggage, and he'll get a couple of games on the way.
You might have to take me on a wheelbarrow, you know.
He'll be all right, I'll carry him there. He's a super player.
Pat, just before you go, that save from Glenn Hoddle in the first half, because your footwork wasn't very good, there's a lot of frost in that goal mouth.
Well, I thought it was going to beat me. It was definitely going in, and I just got there in the nick of time, you know, got around the post.
Can you enjoy a match like that when there's so much pressure and so much tension?
I've been sick, not literally sick, but I mean, there's so much tension over the last 2 or 3 days. I've never known anything like it, you know. We just wanted today to come and get the game played, and we're through now, you know.
You can't give up now. You can't give up now.
It's been worth all the worrying, you know.
Pat, thanks very much indeed. And a final word from the man who was the hero in the centre of defence, Alan McDonald.
13 heroes out there. Well, everyone was brilliant, and anyone who says that's effects can come and see me, and I'll tell them it wasn't effects, because we bloody earned that, and anyone who says different is a joke.
Did you enjoy it?
No, because I was frightened to make a mistake. I made a mistake in the first half, let Gary Lineker through, and boss gave me a bit of a relic at half-time. Players got around me and just got to me, and I lifted myself up, and thankfully we got the trouble. We deserved it. We deserved it, so I think we deserved it being the World Cup.
Yes, a night for the Irish to really celebrate, a more discreet celebration perhaps for the rest of British football. Well, here's the Group 3 table that confirms Northern Ireland go to Mexico along with England. Romania, well, they won 3-1 in Turkey, all to no avail. They may well still be suspicious of collusion between the two, so we got the reaction of the England manager, Bobby Robson.
Oh, I'm quite happy. I mean, if we hadn't have won in Northern Ireland last February, we would have been playing this match for second place. Northern Ireland isn't a pushover. I don't think we should take anything away from the performance of Northern Ireland. They've defended very well, and they've defended all night, if you like, because they haven't really got into our half many times, and they've never really caused as much panic or confusion in the heart of our defence. We've had most of the play, more possession really than we wanted in many cases. And as the game went on, there's only one team who was ever going to likely looking like winning, and that was always us. But it's not easy to score sometimes. We've tried everything. I mean, we tried Dixon making his debut, you know, and he's tried hard, and he's worked quite well with Lineker. We didn't quite get around them, didn't quite get over the top of them, and maybe we didn't mix our game up enough. But at the end of the day, it's about qualifying over 8 matches and not 1, and that's what we've done, so we should be quite delighted. And I'll say this, I'm for British football, and in a way, I mean, I have to say this, I'm quite glad that Northern Ireland have managed to go to Mexico, because I think overall they've deserved it. Anybody who can beat Romania twice and get a point off England deserve to go in a group, so good luck to them.
What would you say to anybody in world football who might look at a goalless draw at Wembley and raise an eyebrow and make any suggestion that there was any collusion?
They can please themselves, and they raise 2 eyebrows if they like. We had to be beyond suspicion, and I think we have done that. There was only one team trying to win the match in the last 10 minutes. It's on evidence. You know, you've got it on tape. Let anybody who wants to question that take a look at it, because we were the only side that really were going to win the match at all evening. And the players have worked hard. They wanted to win badly. We've got our own ambitions. We want to realise our own wishes, and we've gone for that. We're trying to establish some confidence and continuity into the England team, and we haven't given such a bad performance.
Well, to underline what Bobby says there, the FIFA observer at the match, Herr Braun of West Germany, said afterwards he was perfectly happy that the result was fair. Ireland came to defend. England tried to score, but they couldn't. That's football. Well, Jimmy Hill, the FIFA man, says no problem. Is that the way you see it?
Well, I do really. I know there are people, human nature